Yay, good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good. Give me a replay game if you're watching the replay. I love meeting people who are in our tribe who just now discovered us, etc., so forth. I'm going to definitely show you some love if you're watching the replay, so let us know. Right now, it's check-in time. I want you to rep your city. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to what we believe is one of the most incredible ways you could ever spend your morning. We call it Good Morning Millionaire. Our whole goal is to give you exactly what you need to go further faster with less effort. Our simple premise, right, is that your business is worth way more than you think. And a lot of it has to do with how you are kind of like considering your business, how you're thinking about it. If you don't like the lifestyle that you're living, then maybe what you want to do is consider the results you're getting. And if you don't like the results you're getting, then maybe what you want to do is sort of look at the activity that you're putting out. If you don't like the activity you're putting out, then maybe what you want to look at is the attitude that you're putting into your work. And if you don't like the attitude that you have, then maybe we need to look at your philosophy. That's what we do every single morning here. We kind of look at philosophy. We kind of look at like, how can we change the way we're thinking? Not so much what we're thinking about, but how we're thinking about it. Does that make sense to somebody out there? Yeah, good morning. Good morning. It's check-in time. Rep your city, y'all. Let them know where you're from. I'm about to call in on the live line. We're about to get this party started. I'm about to call in on the live line. Let's go.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time.
Facts.
Because we're going to bring the millionaire out.
Yeah, we're about to bring the millionaire out of you. You know what I mean? You got one rumbling around in there. If I could do it, you could do it. That's one thing I know for sure.
All participants are muted.
Like my mentor says, you have greatness within you.
Entry and exit tones are
It's
off.
rumbling around in there. It's just waiting on you to call it out. Does that make sense to somebody out there? I dare you, type it in the comments. I have greatness within. I have greatness within. I have greatness within. Let me see it. I have greatness within. Good morning, Sabina. I have greatness within. Right, Ashley? Yeah, Yuli. I have greatness within. What's up, Sam? I got greatness within. Let's go. I got greatness within. I have greatness within. I have greatness within. What an affirmation to start your morning off with. I have greatness within. I have greatness within. And one of the most incredible things you can do to bring greatness out of yourself is explore the compounding power of retention. The compounding power of retention. Do you know even a 5% increase in your retention? The Harvard Business Review did a study that showed even a 5% increase in retention can lead to 100% increase in your income. Is that insane? A 5% increase in retention. I want you to think about the compounding power of relationship retention. I want you to think about how many opportunities have come from some of those relationships you've had for years rather than months. I want you to think about how much more money that you've made with clientele that stuck around for years instead of just months. Does that make sense to somebody out there? Somebody say retention matters. And what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to give you some mindsets that will help you increase retention. If you're a member of our Kaizen Academy, you understand that my revenue acceleration system is based around 3 different units, right? You got one unit that is the recruitment unit, where it's all about you being and knowing who it is you're looking for. You being the kind of team they want to join, and you knowing exactly the position you need to fill, right? But then that middle unit is all about what we call referrals. Like that's the during unit. The second R of the revenue acceleration model, right? Of the 3 R's. The second R is the referrals phase. That's the during unit. That means everything I'm doing when I'm dealing with this customer needs to be designed for my what? Philosophy that I'm going to create a referral from this. Ooh, I'm going to take care of them so good. They're going to want to tell their friends about me, because you recognize they don't give referrals because they like you. They give referrals because they want to feel superior to their friends. They want to feel better than their friends. They want more status, right? And they're not going to get more status by referring some crap. So you've got to create a referral creating experience when you're dealing with that customer. But that ain't what we're here to talk about this morning. We're talking about the third R of revenue acceleration, y'all. We're talking about retention. Somebody say retention matters. Retention matters. That's exactly right. Retention matters, y'all. And we're living in an era right now that we're just so over inundated with communication, right? It's constant communication, nonstop people leaving messages on your social media, nonstop text messages, nonstop robocalls, right? Everybody's hitting you now. They ain't even got time to type you a whole message. Now they're using acronyms. What's your ETA, right? And then we got to take this in, and then we do all the work for them in terms of translating and interpreting what they mean. So you think with all this communication that we'd be closer to each other than ever. But check this out. More messages don't equal deeper relationships. More messages don't equal retention. Y'all hear me? Don't get me wrong. Social media is incredible, y'all. I mean, it's phenomenal. We have tools at our fingertips that our grandparents and parents only dreamed of, right? All I'm saying is it ain't the same as connecting in person. Using fingers ain't the same as using voices. Using emojis ain't the same thing as you feeling my true emotion. Y'all hear me? Somebody say leadership is about connecting. I don't care if you're leading a team. I don't care if you're leading clientele. Somebody give it to me in the comments. Make sure you lock it in your subconscious. Leadership is about connecting and connecting at every level. We're talking about one-on-one. We're talking about in groups. We're talking about in front of an audience. Can I get you to agree with that? Leadership is about connecting. Give me a share if you agree with that. Leadership is about connecting. Millionaires, the better I get at connecting, the better I get at creating a sense of community. Now I'm going to be able to work in a team better. All of a sudden, my influence is going to get better. All of a sudden, my productivity is going to get better. Am I making sense? Somebody say it. Somebody say it. Leadership is about connecting. Leadership is about connecting. So what I got for you is I have 4 different mindsets this morning that I believe are going to help you increase your retention, right? Now that you understand this framework, the leadership is about connecting. Give me a share if you agree with it, Corey. Give me a share if you agree with that, Shiz. Let's go, Tasha. Let's go, Tasha. Let's get them up in here, Sade. Hey, if you agree with that, Desiree, let's get it. Yeah, Jackie. Let's go, bro. Leadership is about connecting. That's right, Sam. Let's get it. Share this on your timeline. Share this in a messenger group, because what I'm about to share with you can help us jump that canyon. We're going to be able to build more bridges, right? Check it out. Here's the first mindset for you. It's not about you. It's not about you. Somebody give it to me. It's not about me. It's not about me. You know, next time you hold a conversation, I dare you, take a little time out and in your mind, make a mental note of how many I statements you make. If you keep on saying I statements every couple, I'm about to go on vacation. I don't like my job. I wish more people were, right? If everything is like I'm going to tell you something. You got a me problem. You got a me problem, baby. You have an ego problem. And you could be forgiven for it, right? Because you out here running a business. You out here doing things. You know you're a solution. Your ego can kind of get big pretty quick as you become an entrepreneur, as you slide into leadership, right? Now, I'm lucky. I got people around me to keep it 1,000 with me. But I'm just saying, in these days of selfies, in these days of, you got an Instagram page just like, your favorite athlete or your favorite entertainer, it's easy to fall into the me trap. Somebody say it. It's not about me. It's not about me. If I can get you to focus on that, you're going to change your relationships. Here's one you should write in your notes from How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can win more friends in 2 months of being interested than you can in 2 years of being interesting. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I can make more connections in 2 months of being interested than I can in 2 years of being interesting. So I dare you, focus on the person in front of you. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Maybe you should write that down. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Maybe that's one to burn into your subconscious, right? If it's your first time meeting them, maybe you do a little homework ahead of time. Maybe you discover something about them before the handshake, before they meet you at the Starbucks, right? Before you walk up to them when they just got finished with their panel. Am I making sense to somebody out there? Huh? Millionaires, somebody type this in the comments. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Connecting begins when they feel valued. That's exactly right, Daryl. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Listen to them. Really listen. Remember what they've told you. Write it down in your personnel file. Ask follow-up questions, right? How's their family going? What are their hobbies? What are their career goals? Huh? I'm talking about really listen. You know, I remember when I first got into leadership in a major way, what was wild to me was, I couldn't wait for them to finish talking so I could start offering my solution. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Right? I couldn't wait for them to stop talking so I could hurry up and fix their problem. Do you know a lot of times what they really need is to get it out? How many of y'all done mentally rehearsed your response before they even got finished with their problem? Right? They didn't even get to finish their statement and you already got your response. How many, who knows what I'm talking about? Who knows what I'm talking about? Connecting begins when they feel valued. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. But you see, I tricked you into saying that in a different way. Connecting begins when they feel valued. Here's the second mindset I got for you. Everybody with me on the first one? Everybody with me on the first one? It's not about me. That's the first one. Here's the second one. I want you to remember, words only say so much. Words only say so much. This is the second mindset that I want you to consider this morning. I want you to consider as you're watching this broadcast, right? Words only say so much. Have you ever met with somebody or, you went to a talk, you went to a seminar, you went to a networking event, you went to a chamber of commerce meeting, and the person's up there supposed to be an expert, and you thought you was going to be dazzled, right? But instead, you find yourself scrolling on Instagram while they're talking. Well, first of all, that was rude. And second of all, it ain't all your fault, right? It could be packed with information, this talk they're giving, but they talking in a monotone voice, right? They ain't making no eye contact, right? They're hiding behind the podium. You ain't feeling too inspired. Why? Because connecting takes energy. Connecting takes you pouring your heart and your soul into that encounter, right? I don't know how many of you have ever been in a situation, man, where you were able to see how your energy made things a lot different from the people around you. But I have the blessing and the curse of having run a bunch of kiosks in the mall, right? If you've ever been to Atlanta, Georgia, I had like stores in pretty much every mall in the metro area, right? And including some of the worst malls. I would start off at malls like, Shannon Mall, which is now a whole movie studio, but it was a mall at first in Union City, and Greenbrier Mall, North Lake, which is a ghost town now, right? I've been in some places where the energy was lacking a little bit, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. We would go in that joint and we would dig money up out the ground. Why? Because we would come with energy. One of my employees would work there, and maybe they do $100 on this shift. And then I would come, have them stand there and watch me, and I would do $400 or $500 in the same shift. Why? Because I knew everybody that walked by was another chance for a connection. I would start to make jokes with them. I would be like, we know you ain't on the phone for real. We know you ain't on the phone for real. Because we notice whenever they say, oh, I'm going to be back, suddenly when they got to our cart, they got to take a phone call. They're like, we know you ain't. I even wrote it on my little flyers I would hand them. We know you're not really on the phone. I'd be like, look at the bottom of the flyer, bro. And then they'll bust out laughing and walk back and turn back. You know what I mean? I would find ways to connect. And because we had a different level of energy than this person over here who's just sitting there scrolling on their phone, this one over here who's literally taking a nap at his cart because the mall is that empty, right? We are a source of energy. We became stars, and then people would orbit around us. I want to say superstars are called superstars because of the energy they put out and the fact that all these other bodies can't help but orbit around them. If you want to make more money, what you want to do is raise your energy level, and then people are going to show up. When they show up, have a way to charge them. People are more impressed by the depth of your enthusiasm than they are the width of your knowledge. It's about your energy. So next time you got a conversation and everything's cracking, I dare you ask yourself, am I standing straight? Are my arms to my sides, relaxed? Am I cooling out like a Don? Am I a diva up in this thing? Alexa, play Beyonce, right? Right, ladies, right? Am I smiling? Am I adding inflection and interest to my voice? Am I making eye contact with everybody in the room? Am I modulating my voice? Y'all see how I did that? And then everybody's like, what are you about to say? It's about to be important, right? Am I playing? Am I moving comfortably and confidently through the space? Am I not moving too much? What I'm saying to you is that words only say so much. Here's the third mindset I got for you. Here's the third one. Somebody type this in the comments if it matters to you. You can't be an authority without authenticity. I know I used a whole bunch of SAT words in that thing, but we're going to try you. We're going to try you. Where are my spelling bee winners? You can't be an authority without authenticity. Let me see it. You can't be an authority without authenticity. Millionaires, just like children can detect hypocrisy in their parents, your audience, your team, your business partners, your colleagues, they're going to see right through words you don't mean, right? I feel like connecting with people is what we know, what we feel, and what we do. I feel like connecting with people, that's right, Desiree. You can't be an authority without authenticity. That's exactly right, Charlene. That's exactly right. Let's go, authentication. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Lola, you can't be an authority without authenticity. You can't be an authority without authenticity, Jeff. Let's go. You can't be an authority without authenticity. That's exactly right. And I feel like authenticity comes down to what we know, what we feel, and what we do. Think about it. If I try to communicate something that I know, but I don't do, I'm talking in theory. You know what I mean? If I lecture on something I feel, but I don't know, I sound like a hippie. I sound like, like flighty. I sound like, you know what I mean? Right? I don't sound down to earth. I don't sound grounded. Right? And then if I talk about something I do, but I don't feel, I come off like mechanical and hollow. So what do we want? We want all three, baby. We want to know, feel, do. You know how we always talk about be, do, have? Be, do, have. We want to know, we want to feel, and we want to do. Every message you put out there got to have a piece of you in it, right? You got to be more than a messenger. You got to be the message, We were out in Vegas, and my business partner was on a panel talking about integrity and how to transmit integrity to the field. I didn't stand up because I'd already stood up a couple other times, and I didn't want to be that guy. But what I love about my business partner is that he's not just a messenger. He's his message. He's his message. When he was talking about, I could have stood up and gave them so many examples of ideas that I brought to the table where he turned it down because it was dancing on the edge. Like there's this thing out there called the ERC, this employee retention credit. And they were giving out businesses this thing and then taking a percentage of how much they got the business. We looked it up and discovered that was against the law, which made sense to my partner because it's a conflict of interest. Of course, it behooves me to help you fudge the numbers if I'm getting a percentage of what you're going to make. He said, we're not doing it. Too many of these companies are playing it that way. And even though we could make a healthy sum by taking a percentage of that, the morals there, the integrity there ain't right. I got example after example like that. My point is, are you just a messenger or are you your message? Here's the fourth one I got for you, y'all. This is the last one I got. Connecting takes patience. I need you to have that in your mindset as you embark upon this transformational journey where you're this whole new kind of person, right? I need you to know connecting takes patience. It's this TED talk where the guy was talking about how he had a 50-year-old colleague and he was like, man, he feel like he don't really have no vibe with his people at work no more. When he goes to work, he don't stop to talk to nobody. He don't call nobody. He doesn't want to be interrupted, right? But how he said it, he was like, they don't want to interrupt him because they're all too busy on their email and all of this. And then he stopped and he said to himself, you know what it is? I don't want to be interrupted. I'm not telling you the truth. It's me. I'd like to think I want to be interrupted, but I'd rather be on my phone. What am I saying? I'm saying we're going to have to break down these walls that technology done created. I know a whole bunch of us love building a business even through social media. Nothing is ever going to replace personal communication. Check it out, y'all. There was a time where if you wanted to make extra money, like in the time of your parents and your grandparents, if you wanted to make extra money, your only choice was to start a business. But now they ain't got to do that, y'all. They could do some gig work. They can go out here and drive Uber. They can go out here and learn to bartend. They can go out here and do Airbnb. They can do Turo. There are so many different ways to make extra money when the job just ain't getting it for the lifestyle you want to live. You hear me? Your main secret sauce then is your connection. Your main way to keep that customer from spending more than they got to at other places is connection. Your main way to build a fence around these cash cows you got, these cash cattle, is connection. If not, you're just waiting on the wolf to come snatch them away. Am I making sense, somebody? We got to break down these walls technology done put up and build our own fences around our clients. And that's going to take time. That's going to take patience. Sometimes that's going to take putting down the phone and looking somebody in their face. Sometimes that's going to take you taking somebody out to lunch. Real connection means that we are setting aside time for small talk instead of just shooting off a bunch of text messages. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Is this making sense? It means we got to put off our own agenda so that we can understand and respond to the needs of somebody else. If this feels good to you, say, I'm ready. We're about to go do our affirmations. If this feels good to you, say, I'm ready. We're about to go do our affirmations, y'all. Did that feel good? You going to use it? You know, I'd love to know the number one mindset that you picked up this morning. I'd love to know which one of those 4 are your favorite. Somebody say, I'm ready. It's affirmation time, y'all. It's affirmation time. I would love for you to go back in the comments and let us know the one that stood out to you the most. Tonight on Obsessed with Success, we're going to talk about how millionaires plan their day. Tonight's Obsessed with Success is going to be about how millionaires plan their day. Tonight's masterclass is all about how millionaires plan their day. You're going to get a lot out of this. Make sure you're there at 5:15 p.m. in the afternoon. If you want to stay in touch with Millionaire Minded, make sure you join right there. Text at MillMind to 81010, and it'll lock you into the text message system. 5:15 p.m. tonight. 5:15 p.m. tonight is Obsessed with Success. But join the text message system. That's how you join it. Join Dear Millionaire. We're going to send you quotes to put on social media and, send you all kinds of videos you can watch when you got some spare time. And that's how you join the newsletter as well. All right, y'all. Repeat after me. Say it like you mean it. I am so happy and grateful that money comes